EarFun UA100, another dongle which I have in my hand right now here. I've been having it for quite a while. Now I'm reviewing it. So let's just quickly have a look at the price and the packaging for this UA100. If you are in Malaysia and you have access to Shopee, you can get this UA100 from EarFun official store, price at 279 Malaysian ringgit, which is at around 58 US dollar. And this is the most interesting part. Okay, this does not require rocket science. One look at it, and if you're familiar with dongles, especially Shanling dongle, this look like Shanling UA2 Plus. Okay, is it true or not? Let's just quickly have a look here. To better test this, idea, I'm just gonna share with you here, right? If I connect this to my phone here, which is Xiaomi Mi 90, all right, connected like that, and then Shanling will have a player called Addict Player. If you are a user of Shanling, you might already be familiar with this. You open up Addict Player, okay, and then you would notice that Addict Player immediately detects this, okay, as a USB device. Click OK, USB access, and then have a look at the setting here under USB control. And then there you have it. You would notice that Addict Player have control over this UA100. And true enough, just like Shanling UA2 Plus or Shanling UA2, right, you can actually use Addict Player to tune up this UA100 from EarFun, literally as if this is a Shanling device, okay? So you have volume control there, you have filter, you can change like that. And then you can have, power mode and everything, just like a Shanling device. So what does it say? I'm just gonna close this and then let's talk a bit more about it. Looking at the configuration itself, true enough, after spending quite a while comparing it side by side, it does appear that this UA100 seems to be a rebrand or rebadge of Shanling UA2 Plus, which is priced much higher at 89 US dollar. So the question right now is that a good thing? Yes, I would just simply say it is a good thing. So let's just have a look at it. In this part of the world, there's no such thing as patent or anything like that. So meaning that regardless whether Shanling use it first or any other brand or my own brand for that matter, right? There's no law saying that you can't do that, all right? The good thing about it is that it offers a wide variety of option to the users like us. So meaning that if we want something like this, but prefer to have another brand which is probably cheaper, then this EarFun UA100 is one good example. As mentioned earlier, I have been spending quite a bit of time with this UA100. Since last year I received it actually. I've been delaying the review on it. So I had the opportunity to test it extensively with my equipment here, as you can see. Sennheiser HD600, Hi-Fi Man Sundara, Kinera Idun Golden, Hidis MP145, Final Audio A5000, and of course my favorite, the one which I use the most, which is Sivga Nightingale Magnetic Planar. Alright, so when we talk about sound tuning for this UA100, this is something which I classify as natural and neutral sounding, because when I use it with this Sennheiser HD600 here, and also this Kinera Idun Golden, both of them being my neutral uncolored reference, the sort of sound which I'm getting from this UA100 is definitely accurate, transparent, and does not exhibit any kind of coloration. When it comes to the tone and timbre balance itself, I am happy to say that despite being an ESS Sabre ES9038Q2M, which can be either digital sounding or analog sounding, this is something which I would consider as being close to analog sounding and in fact natural and organic, especially when attached to this Sivga Nightingale, right? The combination of this Sivga Nightingale and this one is definitely very, very analog. I just love the kind of sound between these two running on this 4.4mm balance. Okay, and when I attach it to something which is a bit more modern sounding like this Hidis MP145, there's balance to it. Okay, Hidis MP145 can be sounding a bit more digital if you attach it to the traditional ESS Sabre type of tuning, which is kind of like, focused too much on being technical, not so much on being musical. But at least when I attach either this Final Audio A5000 and this MP145 with this UA100, the sort of sound I'm hearing is something which I would consider as very well balanced and does not exhibit any kind of offensive element to it, especially when it comes to the upper frequency. Okay, now let's talk about the sound stage and the spatial imaging itself. This is one very properly tuned dongle, and definitely I would say that it has that openness and the good sense of space, especially when attached to the corresponding partner, especially like this MP145 or even this Civica Nightingale. Okay, so when it comes to driving power, you see here, I already mentioned Sennheiser HD600. The sort of power which I'm getting from this Sennheiser HD600 when attached to my PC here running USB 3.0, I needed only at around 20 out of 100 volume, which is very impressive. The sort of output which I'm hearing is something which I would consider as wholesome. Does not feel like it is like, weak, tiny or soft. It is definitely something which I would consider as, if you are not comparing it with, larger size desktop DAC-M or even this powerful, DAP here, which is Sony PCMD100, I would say that, I can be completely satisfied with the sort of output which I'm getting from this UA100, provided that I run it from this 4.4mm balance, which offer 100% power, and 3.5mm single-ended, offering 50% of power. And the same can be said for this Hi-Fi Man Sundara. Okay, they all synergize really well with this UA100. And same goes with the IEM, which I already have shown you. Because this is neutral and transparent, it does not add any kind of coloration. So the sort of sound which I'm hearing from those IEM is the sort of sound which I would expect them to produce. When attached to my Tangim Zero, running at 32 ohm from this 4.4mm balance, attached to my Xiaomi Mi 90 here, which is running on 4000 mAh of battery, I am happy to say that this UA100 was able to score 12 hours, which is pretty much per expected for a dongle of this size, and it does not get hot when used continuously. Let me remind you, this is not all of them. I have just tried to narrow down the type of dongle which is similar to this UA100 that does not offer independent volume adjustment with limited functions and everything, and intended to be simple and within the similar price bracket. Okay, so as compared with the rest of the competition, UA100 is definitely identical with Shuangling UA2 Plus. No doubt about it, because they are essentially the same thing. Okay, and when compared with the rest of the competition like FIO KA1, i5 Goling or Hidis XO or even Moondrop Dawn 4.4, all of them are pretty much within the same similar bracket of anywhere from 72 to 79, right, with the total score itself. So you can expect very close performance, especially when it comes to the sound perspective from this UA100 with the rest of the competition. And in fact, I would even say that, looking at the sound itself, 9998, this is definitely very impressive. I did mention earlier that this UA100 being neutral and natural, and this is how it looked like when compared against the rest of the competition on the Timbre signature. ES9038Q2M can be very digital sounding if you left it to the default setting, but the good thing about this UA100 is that it hovers very close to analog natural sound, very well balanced, as you can see here, almost in the middle there. And then compare against the rest of the competition, the only other two dongle which are more analog or even warmer sounding than this UA100 would be just i5 Goling and Hidis XO.